Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 Time for Sports. Brought to you by the Marquee Network. Stream Cubs baseball at watchmarquee.com.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Now, the Cubs were off yesterday, and they're at the Orioles tonight, which is interesting as it ties into the White Sox before we get what happened with them last night. But the White Sox trade possibilities huge with Case's guy, Garrett Crochet. And they could happen because of the prospect capital that the Orioles have. Now, it'd be nice to keep some good players.
It'd be great. It'd be nice to be a good team like the Orioles.
Right. And Crochet is amazing right now. In 19 starts, he has a 3.08 ERA and 105 innings, striking out a league-leading 146 batters and named an all-star. Doesn't that sound like a guy who's pitching for a really good team?
Well, it should be noted. I'm glad you said that, Brian. Garrett Crochet is not good for the White Sox. He is good, period, and there's a huge difference.
Meaning that you're going to waste all those starts on the White Sox for the next year, 2, 3, until they can build the team up. You can't wait to build around him because by then, he'll be probably not what he is now.
Yeah.
This is the conundrum of all Chicago sports, by the way.
I mean, I just put up a graphic on Q101's Facebook page where you had the Bears who were 7-10, the Bulls who finished under 500, the Cubs are last in the NL Central, the Blackhawks were last in their division, and the White Sox are the worst team in baseball.
Oof.
This is the worst year in Chicago sports history.
Oof.
And it rained during NASCAR.
And it rained during NASCAR.
Okay, now you're just complaining. That did not need to be included.
Good
That's not
Lord.
a Chicago problem.
I think it was a Chicago problem. That's the problem.
Damn it, Reinsdorf. It rained during NASCAR.
Did a pickleball tournament get canceled because possibly it rained on Sunday, too?
I'm sure people are tearing ACLs left and right in pickleball. That can't help Chicago.
Well,
Amen.
Because the Orioles have an incredible farm system and a lot of prospects, so there could be a trade being made with that as we get nearer to the trade deadline. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, the White Sox lost to the Twins in a game that was wild, going 11 innings last night. They lost 8-6. I believe the Twins had a 4-run seventh. So, yeah, just a wild game, but they ended up losing it. But they were in it. They got that dog in them. You know what I mean?
I know.
They got that dog they just can't finish. But much like the Cubs, after the seventh inning, they can't finish either. Twins on the south side again tonight. Now, this happened over the weekend, but there was a lot to talk about yesterday in sports with the NASCAR stuff. So we really should give a proper goodbye. I know. It could be Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, but we know for sure that DeMar DeRozan of the Bulls is gone. Going to the Kings for a 3-year, $73.7 million deal. I don't know how that negotiation went, but maybe somewhere in the agent said, listen, you give us $700 more grand and the deal's done. Can't it just be $73 million? 73.7?
No, it's expensive out in California. That covered his moving expenses, probably.
Exactly. What if you could get 0.7 more, wouldn't you?
Good Lord, I want 0.7 right now.
Amen.
God.
How dare you judge that?
But before you keep that thought going, we'll see that basically at the end of that deal, DeMar DeRozan will have made $333 million in the NBA and won nothing. Never won anything. Because I know he's not going to win with the Kings. No, don't. You're the problem. You applaud these deals.
An icon. They should retire his jersey number.
For which team? He never won anything.
All of them. He's a thief in the night. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful.
It's him and Jackie Robinson. They're the two guys with their numbers retired everywhere.
Amen.
The reason he wanted to move, well, obviously the Bulls didn't want to keep him and he moved on, but he was asked in an interview I saw because the Heat wanted him pretty bad too in Miami. And he said the reason he chose the Kings, not because he thinks they have the potential to get a title before he retires. He's an older guy now at this point. He said, quote, I just want to live on the West Coast again. You pay me $73 million, I'll go to the Ukraine to play basketball. He just wanted to go to California.
You'll fight in the war and play basketball at night.
I'll do whatever you want. 73 mil, tell me where to go. I don't care. Nah, Miami or Sacramento, I want to live on the West Coast. He played at USC. He's from Compton out there, so he wants to get back out there. And he's
Good for him.
I guess. I'm happy for him. He's a nice guy. But at the same time, he's never won anything. He's joining this weird club of, if I go to the NFL, Kirk Cousins is going to make over $500 million and never win anything. Sam Bradford, I think, made over $300, never won anything.
What? Why are you being a hater?
I know you're happy about these deals.
I'm proud of them. Sorry about it.
I just want someone to come to Chicago for millions of dollars and win something. That
would also be nice.
I'm asking too much.
That sounds really nice.
It sounds great.
I admire I can admire their work.
You can, from afar.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry about it.
Don't apologize.
I have their pictures hung up, like for motivation in my mirror when I get up in the morning.
You got to take down one picture of your husband to put up DeMar DeRozan's picture tonight.
Absolutely. So I got to visualize it so it happens.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And before we get you on the phones for Clash with Kenzie for a chance at the Renaissance Fair tickets, got to play the audio of the day for you. So check this out. This is from the president of the National Education Association, gave a speech yesterday. And Kenzie hasn't heard this audio yet, so
I'm excited.
This was a speech in Philadelphia from the president of the National Education Association. I'm just going to take it right there.
NEA delegates, we can do this work. We must do this work. We get to do this work. We will do this work because our students are depending on us to win all the things. NEA, we have to win all the things. All the things. All the things.
This is not edited. This is how it is.
Our colleagues are depending on us to win all the things. Keep going, NEA. To preserve our democracy, we must win all the things. Delegates, we won't go back. We will keep going forward because we are the NEA. We are the NEA. We are the NEA. And that's what we do.
Okay.
I'm on board.
Oh, my God.
Can we have a recap of what that was for?
So it was a speech for the National Education Association in front of all its members. So she's trying to fire them up, like a union speech kind of deal. Like they're trying to fire them up about what they must do. And
I'm fired
Are they
up.
going to war there? Like, I just was trying to check in what's happening. Like, get your pencils sharpened.
Well,
We're going to be
you know,
stabbing people tonight.
all the things.
Are depending on us to win all the things.
All the things.
Scratch-offs, lottery, like everything.
Well, what this became, this went viral, and it became a comparison to Dwight's speech in The Office.
Oh, my God. Okay, now, mind you, if you haven't seen this, Dwight's speech, this is a prank because Jim gave him a book that was supposed to be like how to make a really good professional motivational speech. It was actually how Mussolini and dictators spoke, and that was the joke, is now he sounded like Mussolini, the fascist dictator, giving a speech. So I just want to set that up of why that's funny.
And here is that speech.
Some people will tell you salesman is a bad word. They'll conjure up images of used car dealers and door-to-door charlatans. This is our duty to change their perception. I say, salesmen and women of the world, unite. We must never acquiesce, for it is together that we prevail. We must never cede control of the motherland, for it is
Oh, my God. So close. So good. This woman just had it right in there, just the same as Dwight.
All the things.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
And Clash with Kenzie is brought to you by the Schaumburg Boomers. I'm sorry, what was that, Kenzie?
I just feel the boom.
Thank you. Hit the boom again.
Get it.
For
Hit my microphone.
For tickets, visit boomersbaseball.com. And competing again today, not again, but for the first time ever, is Christina and Chesterton competing against Kenzie and Clash with Kenzie for the Bristol Renaissance Fair passes. And Christina, I understand you're late to Pilates class.
Yeah, I'm going to be running late, but it's going to be worth it because I'm going to beat Kenzie.
Wow.
Oh, it's ballsy.
What's the difference
You already
between...
kind of lost once today with the lateness. I don't know, girlfriend. We'll see.
What's the difference between Pilates and yoga?
A lot.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's like a lot difference, but like this one's hot Pilates, so like this one's a little different because it's like 140 4 degrees in there.
Pilates is like a low impact strength workout. I mean, I suppose you could say yoga's like that too, but you use like machines and like it's really, really good because it is like resistance training, but it doesn't like mess up your knees and stuff like that.
Pilates uses machines?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I mean, you can do like wall Pilates and stuff, but if you're going to a class and you show up and they're just like, use this wall, I'd riot because I can do that at home and it's really expensive.
That's like asking what's the difference between basketball and baseball.
I mean, they're just different workouts.
There's two totally different things.
Not at all. They're the same thing. I see people stretching and they say, that's
They're both
Pilates.
low impact,
They
which
stretch.
is
I
nice.
stretch here. I see yoga.
Everything's Pilates now?
Everything's Pilates.
Wow,
I would
all right.
say like Pilates has a lot of movements and yoga is like holding poses and doing stretches and Pilates really isn't necessarily holding poses and doing stretches. It's different. Both low impact.
I think I did Pilates
Both
this
good for
morning.
the knees, if you know what I'm
I
saying.
think I did Pilates in the shower this morning.
I think you're about to when you flip that coin.
Oh! This thumb's going to be
go.
all nice and stretched out.
Uh-huh.
Christina, call heads or tails
Yeah.
right now. 1, 2, 3, call it.
Heads.
It is tails. So sorry, Christina. Here we go. So these are for the Bristol Renaissance Fair passes. Remember, if Kenzie wins, everybody listening still has a chance at them, okay? So, Kenzie, question number 1. What hardware store promises that you'll save big money in their infamous jingle?
Menards.
That's right. Menards. Christina, how do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Feliz Navidad.
That's right. 1-1. Kenzie, what Australian-born actress recently announced that she's expecting her first child?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie is right. Christina, Days of Our Lives is what genre of TV show?
Like a soap opera?
That's like a soap opera. Kenzie, what chicken-centric restaurant recently closed all locations in Illinois, minus the Melrose Park location, of course?
You know what? You know what just closed near me, so I'm going to guess this because I don't know the answer. Our Boston Market just closed. Is it Boston Market?
Wow.
It is absolutely Boston Market.
I was livid about
Yes,
it.
yeah.
I was livid.
It's tough. The only Boston market remaining in the state of Illinois is in Melrose Park.
Oh, you know how many turkey carver sandwiches I used to get? I love those.
However, when's the
I
last
can't
time?
have anything.
When's the last time you got one, though?
Well, now it's been a while because they closed the restaurant.
Well, but I mean, they only closed recently.
I
so-
would say I for sure went once every 3 months, guaranteed.
Wow.
Once a
'cause
quarter. Wow.
Once a quarter.
Once a financial
Absolutely
quarter.
did a seasonal visit.
My Q1 turkey sandwich.
Amen.
I love it, but I haven't been there in like 3 years.
Well, you're part of the problem.
That's why it closed on
Thanks a
Ashland.
lot, Brian.
I was there 6 months ago.
You were ours was on Ashland.
I know, and I miss it because I liked the apples they had there.
Oh, the
Apples?
Yeah. They have like a cinnamon. It's a dessert. It's not really like apples. Don't worry. It's pie.
It's more of a side.
It's a pie essentially.
I didn't know it was the
Don't worry
Boston
about it.
Farmers Market.
All right, 3-2 back to Christina.
Christina, Jimmy Hoffa was the president of what labor union from 1957 to 1971? Jimmy Hoffa. 3,
What?
2.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The union. I like her.
I was dragging out that last second. Kenzie.
The Teamsters.
So Kenzie learned this last year about the Teamsters and what they did, and they don't just kill people.
Apparently, that's what the Irishman's about. I watched it for 3 hours and didn't know.
So now it's back to Kenzie for the win.
It is. Kenzie's up 4-2, and it's back to her.
What do you got?
Kenzie, what color is an adult bald eagle's beak? What color?
Yellow?
It is yellow. And there you go. Kenzie takes it down.
Tannish yellow hue.
Christine, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I feel cheated, but it's okay.
You feel cheated?
How'd you feel cheated?
That was a hard question. That was an insanely hard question.
The Teamsters won?
Yeah.
Thought it was okay.
I feel like you should get like an A, B, C, or D.
For Jimmy. Okay. We'll take.
Let's see.
Brian, change trivia.
I'll
She
change it
says,
all around. Next time you call, it's going to be completely different, Christina, okay? Now get to that Pilates class. And now everybody listening right now has a chance to go see the Bristol Renaissance Fair, hang out with us and party with us this Saturday for it, right after Noah Khan, who is playing Alpine Valley this Saturday.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
God bless the baby.
All right, 312-591-8300. Caller 10 is going to be at the Bristol Renaissance Fair, and you can go all the way up until August 25th for the party. The amazing event. And if you've never been and kind of dabbled in it, maybe you've been in some kind of Renaissance thing, there's nothing like this on earth, the Bristol Renaissance Fair. It is a village. It is a city. And Noah Kahn playing Alpine Valley, this weekend, it's right up that way, heading that direction toward the Illinois-Wisconsin border. So 312-591-8300 from our great friends at the Bristol Renaissance Fair. Great partners. We love them. And it's where fantasy rules. Literally, you can go in a knight's outfit with a lightsaber. You could go as a belly dancer like Kenzie's going to do. I don't know what I'm going to be at. It's Steampunk Day. I'm not sure what I'm going to be on Saturday.
I was a wench last year.
And yesterday.
I had a nickel. And then I'm doing a belly dancer vibe this year. Lots of coins and shimmer. I'm very excited, and my baby's going to be a dragon.
That's awesome.
So, because I'm like, what can I put him in? Because for girls, it's so easy because there's a lot of cute, baby, fairy outfits. Because, the thing about the Renaissance Festival is just whimsical, right? So you do all these fairy outfits, princess dresses. And I was like, all they had was to make him look like a potato sack with a rope. There was nothing cute for a boy. And I'm like, oh, he's going as a dragon. This is perfect.
That's amazing. And that's a good point because it is totally family friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Love seeing all the families together dressed up. And listen, we're going to meet up. So make sure you join us at the Three Sheets Pub. Okay? Three Sheets Pub. It's almost right inside the door, the main entrance. But we're going to meet up at noon. But definitely plan. This is one thing I'll say, that it is one road in and out, and the parking lot is monstrous, and it's so massive, the complex, that it takes time to walk it. So plan 11:30. Just get there a little bit earlier, and we'll be there at noon, and we'll start there, and then we go walk through the whole place.
Right. If you want to meet us at noon, just plan on your arrival being 11:30, so you can park, you can get your picture out front, because as you walk in, the front's a castle, which is really dope, so you definitely want a picture there, and then you can make it to the pub in time, because we're going to be in there for a little bit, but then we're also going to walk around the Renaissance Festival with you, because it's kick-ass.
Yeah. So just plan a little bit extra time no matter what, because it'll be a lot of people. There's a lot of people. So get those tickets, and we'll have some tomorrow if you missed out on it. All right, at 7:10, make sure you're with us to get on the phones.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're asking you, what happened to that one person that was when you were in your little town, back in your neighborhood, and they were going to make it? And whether it was in music or be an actor or technology or whatever, they had some kind of possessed mission to make it. And you want to know what happened to them. I'm not trying to make this a sad tale of people that didn't make it. But
because the stories could be happy or funny. They were like, well, actually, I hate that. Or, it could be good. It doesn't have to be negative.
Well, you saw in Case when we came back from July 4th, he talked about a kid that he grew up with that was supposed to be a rapper. Right?
Yeah.
Right? The guy was supposed to be a big rapper.
Indiana, Whitestown?
Not Whitestown. No, he did not grow up in Whitestown.
Did he grow up in Blacksburg next door?
It's Brownsburg, not Blacksburg.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
Okay, how about Brian goes home?
Do you need to take a timeout?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Really threw me off.
Oh, Brian.
So basically, if you take 65 to Indianapolis, which people know if you've made that route, there's Whitestown, and right next to Whitestown, there's Brownsburg. And
now, listen, besides popular belief here, Whitestown, named after a guy who really was against segregation and slavery, put in a lot of work.
He was a big civil rights leader.
Tough last name when you're like, no, we should keep everyone together. Yeah. And they're like, no, we love your last name. And he's like, forget my last name. I don't believe in it. But it's the truth. This is what happened.
There's just something funny about Whitestown being next to Brownsburg. And maybe we're just 7 years old.
I think that's it.
I don't know. Anyway, so one guy in your city was supposed to be a rapper.
Well, yeah. So I got dinner with some friends when I was home. And I was with one person who went to my high school, but then two people who didn't grow up in the same area as me. And we got to talking, and all of us seemed to have had a rapper in our high school that wanted to make it big.
Right.
And it was this universal sort of experience that we all shared. In essence, what we're asking is, who is the person that you grew up with that you Facebook stalk now? Because I am obsessed with the hometown rapper that I had. And I don't know if I should say his name or not. I almost question
what's
whether
going
or not.
on with him?
Well, he's not rapping anymore.
Oh.
He seems to have a lot of children, which is a bummer.
Okay. Well, maybe he's a good dad.
Kids.
No.
Is it Baby Daddy Dave?
It's not Baby Daddy Dave.
Okay,
he did
good.
not grow up in my hometown.
I'm just checking.
But no, I mean, he seems like a guy who was really into rapping and creating this persona about growing up on the streets and having this hard life. But he grew up in Fishers, Indiana. He had a good life. And all of his rap songs about, like, how he grew up in the hood and how he's had such a big struggle. And I'm like, we're in the same English class. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, did you ever see his house, though? I mean, I know that you had horses and land and slaves.
Oh,
Or
Hold
which
on.
you did. And maybe his living circumstances weren't like yours. Because so here's what happened, is we had a less nice living when I grew up in North Carolina. And then we moved to Minneapolis, and my parents really wanted to move to a safer area, right? But now, instead of just being the normal kid, I now got to be the poor kid at a rich school, which sucks. Way worse. I liked being amongst my peers a lot more. And I mean, I feel like I got totally bullied for like, everyone had designer and new cars and this and that. And to this day, I've talked about like, oh, you know, like I didn't have as much money. And people are like, you went to my high school. I go, yeah, we had 2 different lives. I went to the high school. Who cares?
So you should have stayed in North Carolina, your parents.
Yeah, I would have much preferred to stay in North Carolina. Way.
Well, Case also saying Fishers, Indiana. I know that city's been voted the best place to live in America, like those medium-sized city type
It's
deals.
a very nice suburb.
It's a north suburb of Indianapolis.
It's like you grew up in Beverly Hills.
I did not grow up in Beverly Hills.
Like as a
Stop playing the music. I don't like it.
No, play it. As a blanket statement, nobody who lives in Beverly Hills can be like, well, I was on a different side of Beverly Hills. No, Beverly Hills is just nice.
Well,
I don't know nothing about Fishers.
There might be one house that's bad in Fishers,
Yeah,
right?
did you ever see his house is my question. Did you go over?
His house was bigger than mine.
No
we're on
way.
the same bus route.
Oh,
So
you're on
he-
the same bus route? That's different. We're near each other.
So you're saying he got busted in the downtown Indianapolis, a white kid going down.
He's no different, and I feel bad saying this because not to lump all white rappers into the same category, but he's no different than Vanilla Ice. He created this whole persona about how tough he was, and none of it was true, and I'm obsessed with him to this day.
So now he's an adult. He has a lot of kids. He's not a rapper.
Not a
Do
rapper.
you know what he does for a living?
No, I don't.
Because that's the tell on Facebook when people won't put what they do for a living at that point.
Well, he's obviously in sales.
Probably in sales.
I feel like salespeople don't post that they're in sales.
Yeah.
Because that's how they get you. That's how they get you to buy stuff. And they put that you're in sales and they call you. You're like, oh, this is a sales call. But if they don't have it posted anywhere, you either just check it up on you, and then 10 minutes in, you're like, I think this is a sales pitch. And
Now-
I didn't know that.
Now, did he go for it? Did he perform places? Do you know of?
Yeah. No,
Where'd he
he
perform?
performed in the hotbed of the Indianapolis rap scene.
Well, listen, as long as you go
Was
for
he
it.
good?
I'm saying as long as you go for it, that's good. He went
Yes.
all in, he tried.
To be clear, I'm not, and we're not making fun of anybody that didn't make it because I know from
No, that's what Case said he wanted to do when he came in today.
That's not what I said.
He said like that.
It's just I found it very funny that everybody at that table seemed to have a universal experience of like, oh yeah, that was the kid that grew up and wanted to be a rapper. And I think everybody of a certain age has that kid at their high school.
And see what? He was memorable because you still remember him today.
100%. Every 2 months, I'm like, man, what's that guy up to? I got to check in on him.
Yeah. Well, check in with us at 312-591-8300 about that person that, you know, was in your circle or your neighborhood and they were going to make it or they did something special. Maybe it worked out for them. Like Weedman Terry has a story. Weedman, ahoy. Whoa. You know what? Yeah, you know what? The phone's really rough. I'm going to put you back on hold. We'll get you in a second.
Terry, letting me down.
Well, let me try one more time here. Okay, there he is.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You caught me out in the yard, man. Playing them weeds, bro.
Got the leaf blower going at 7:56. All right.
Working hard, Weed Man Terry.
It's the Z spray, man. It's got a big old motor on it.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, tell us a story about the guy in your neighborhood.
So our buddy, growing up, this guy, very smart kid, always into technology. He said, one day I'm going to have a computer screen in my car and you'll be able to listen to music while you drive. And this is like mid-'90s. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And he wired a computer in the back of his car, had a screen mounted on the front and a mouse, and he was able to click it, you know, and here we are 25 years, 30 years later with all these GPSs and stuff in the car. But sadly, he passed away before he could see these big dreams come true.
Oh. Now, before you do that, let's take it back to the 90s when computer monitors were about 2 feet deep. They were not flat. Like a computer monitor.
I never saw a computer monitor that thought, well, this will fit my car
Yeah.
nicely.
Did he dig into the air conditioning in the dashboard and shove the monitor in there?
It was right when the flat screens first came out, when they were like $500 monitors. Yeah, I remember the ones that you're talking about, but that would have been funny to mount that big sucker in there.
So you're saying he was the first guy to put a computer in a car?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I mean, we're going back to like 95, I want to say 96, right around the gold days of Napster, you know?
Yeah.
So
you want to give him a shout out? I know sadly he passed away, but give his name on the air so we recognize this patriot.
Go Greg Knight from Homer Township.
Greg Knight. Listen, thanks for sharing that story. We now know why we have computer screens in the cars.
Genius.
Yeah.
That's right. He was a pioneer.
Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.